Coming up on SUTV, we'll tell you about SUU's Readathon.
And we'll let you know about the BSU Step Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Lizzie Lee.
And I'm Amy Andre. Delta Psi Omega is the next Greek organization hosting a service week. From March 5th through the 9th, the sorority is raising money for Primary Children's Hospital. On Monday, there is a pool party in the PE building, and on Wednesday, representatives from different clubs will compete in a pageant. The group will also be collecting donations at a table in the mall. For more information, visit Delta Psi Omega's Instagram page.
It's time to choose the faces of next year's SUSA. Students will probably recognize most of the people on the ballot this year. All of the Executive Council candidates are current members of SUSA, and all the candidates are running unopposed. Current Vice President of Finance, Demia Lamar, is running to replace Hayden Carroll as Student Body President. Since there are no contested races, students have all week to vote in their MySUU portal. Students can still write in a candidate, and the results will be announced in the living room at 6 p.m. on Friday. Our reporter, Ansley Mikesell, is sitting down with outgoing President Hayden Carroll to talk more about the elections.
Thank you, guys. I am here with Hayden Carroll, the Student Body President of SUU SA. This week is the elections for the SUU Student Association candidates. So, Hayden, being in office since about this time last year, how do you feel SUSA has improved since the previous years?
You know, the first thing that comes to mind when you ask that question is the idea of student voice. So in the past, the Student Association has been combined with the Student Programming Board, which is the activities on campus. And so in the past, student government has been known for activities. But this year is the first year that we have separated those two. So SPB and SUSA are separate organizations now. And it's interesting because we've seen with that separation that the student government side has become the governance of the students. And then while obviously the Student Programming Board is with the activities. And so we've seen that with student voice, I think we've had 3 or 4 times the amount of MySUU voice feedback into us that we've been able to respond to. So just the idea that we can represent the students in a better way when that separation has happened.
Very cool. So this year with the elections going on, something strange has happened where all of the candidates are actually running unopposed. And there's mixed feelings about that. Why do you think that's happened?
Yeah, I was surprised when I realized that there was only one party running. After talking with my constituents and other students around, my favorite answer for this is that we've been doing something right. So when something right is going on in the government, that not a whole lot of people are concerned about running. So maybe that's one answer. Another answer might be a lack of marketing. Another answer might be that students, as we've seen in the past, some students unfortunately don't feel that student government affects them, and it's unfortunate because it does. I'm able to sit in meetings with President Wyatt and his vice presidents as a board of trustee, working with the presidents around the state of Utah, and I can say that the decisions that we're making at a local level and state level are of huge impact to the students. And so maybe it's a lack of understanding for what the government system can do for them.
Right, you kind of touched on this, but with that, why is it still important for students to vote this elections?
You know, I think it's almost like if we take the United States elections, some people don't think that the individuals who are elected into office play a big part in their lives, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, but they have to realize that those individuals who are being elected, in other words, the party that's running this election, they're the ones who are going to be making decisions that will impact the students for years to come. It's a cumulative process in regards to working with one administration to the next. So hopefully we've made an impact, and the next party who gets in, if they do or don't, will build off of what we've done. And so it's a consecutive kind of process. And it affects everybody, it really does.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us here today. All students are encouraged to vote for all the candidates, or there is a none option as well. They can vote on their SUU portals or through the SUU mobile app. Thank you again, Hayden, for joining us today. Back to you guys at the desk.
There's a lot of construction happening around campus right now, and it is affecting the way students get to school. Our reporter Savannah Palmer has the story.
Cedar City residents and SU students are not strangers to construction zones.
More than new apartments and schoolrooms, there are effects of these construction zones that are not being talked about. Citizens of Cedar City and SU students are finding that debris on the roads is frustrating for them and their wallets, not to mention a hazard on their safety.
Twice in the last 3 weeks, I have had a flat tire, and the same tire, I've had to get it replaced, whole new tires. I know one time because of a screw stuck in my tire, and the other time, I don't know what caused it, but I know that it was bad, and I'm sure it has something to do with all the crap that's on the road.
A few days ago, I was driving down to the campus, and I went through a construction site. And then a few hours later, I had a completely flat tire. It was this tire right here. And it was because of all the debris from the construction site that I'd run over.
Hopefully, by bringing these issues forward, there can be measures taken to protect drivers and pedestrians from the hazards of careless debris on our roads.
As Black History Month is coming to a close, SUU's Black Student Union put on its annual step show. The event showcased the African-American traditional step dance combined with hip-hop numbers. The BSU step team was joined by SUU's hip-hop club and other dance teams from the Vegas area, including AMDOT and the Marintic Kids. In addition to the dance, students also presented spoken word poems. BSU member Rachel Train shared her thoughts on racism and equality.
We also live in a society where people like me are made to fail. They put blocks and mountains and empire buildings, everything that they possibly can in front of us, and say, okay, now jump. When I say jump, you say how high. Jump. How high? Jump. How high? That wasn't good enough. Jump. How high?
To learn more about BSU and their activities, students can visit the Center for Diversity and Inclusion.
We are officially in the Chinese Lunar New Year, and SU's International Affairs Office hosted a celebration. Ushering in the Lunar New Year of the Dog, students from around the world participated in the party Thursday. International students presented traditional songs, dances, and fashion. The International Affairs Office also served their take on traditional Chinese Lunar Year food. The showstopper of the event was a lion dance performed by international student ambassadors to the delight of the crowd.
A change to zoning laws around SUU has some community members upset. Our reporter Grace Schultz has the story.
The downtown Cedar City skyline may soon look a little different.
I'm not opposed to change. I'm not opposed to growth.
Much to the dismay of its residents. On February 7th, the Cedar City Council passed a city ordinance creating the Southern Utah University Housing District.
Well, if we had some kind of a zone where we had a high density district, then that would help, I think all of us, would help developers, it would help the university.
The new zone changes the way apartments can be built around the university in a way that neighbors don't support.
I don't feel like tall buildings are the answer.
Buildings within the SHD can now be built 50 feet tall rather than 35 feet, and parking lots need space for only 70% of a building's residents rather than the previous 85%.
My concern is they go forward and do this proposal. It will be multiple apartment complexes next to each other with inadequate parking.
Councilman R. Scott Phillips was the single vote against the SHD.
But I felt like it was just in the best interest of the community not to go this drastic this soon.
Despite taking an extra 2 weeks to consider the zone, residents say the decision was hasty.
There's no rush. It isn't like students are living on the street right now. Once it's done and they start being built or whatnot, it's pretty hard to undo it.
But in the end, the SHD won out.
We have to find a way to embrace the growth that is coming, but do it on our own terms.
Now that the City Council has voted, there's not much that residents can do, except for hope that their neighbor doesn't sell and they won't be living next to an apartment complex anytime soon. For SUTV News, I'm Grace Schultz.
SUU is encouraging students to get out and read. Last Tuesday, the university hosted a readathon in the ballroom. The event was open to both students and community members who wanted to relax with a good book. The event lasted 3 hours, and books and refreshments were provided for participants. Coming up after the break, we'll talk about the recent visit from Mitt Romney.
And later, we'll fill you in on the final days of the Olympic Games.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Mitt Romney visited SUU last week as he continues his run for Utah Senate. SUU students and faculty line the hallways waiting for a chance to meet former Massachusetts governor and current Utah Senate candidate Mitt Romney. Romney announced his candidacy earlier this year when longtime Utah Senator Orrin Hatch announced his retirement. Romney took pictures with students, faculty members, and student leaders. Romney is expected to return to SUU later this year for a more formal Q&A to give students the opportunity to ask important questions.
I think it's important for us as to listen to our politicians and also to ask them a good question about our societies and our country.
Students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School are back in class today. The United States Congress also returned to session on Monday. Both the school and Congress are feeling the effects of the February 14th massacre that killed 17 people. Since the shooting, survivors have taken to the streets and social media calling for stronger gun legislation. President Donald Trump has lobbied for a few ideas, including raising the age for buying assault weapons and incentivizing teachers for being armed at school. In the wake of the shooting, gun rights advocates have criticized law enforcement for failing to act on multiple reports that the shooter posed a threat due to his mental instability.
2 days after a UN Security Council resolution calling for peace in Syria, conflict is ongoing. The resolution called for peace in the region of Ghouta, an area outside Damascus, but bombing continued through the weekend. Last night, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a daily 5-hour break in the bombing, but there are still no signs of peace. In 9 days since the bombing began, more than 560 people have been killed, many of them civilians. Ghouta, a suburb of the Syrian capital of Damascus, has become a rebel stronghold during the Syrian civil war.
Coming up, I'll let you know what to expect in the upcoming forecast. Don't blow away.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our community safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You
You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome to your Cedar City Weather Report. I'm Damon Day, bringing you your daily weather. Looking at our forecast for right now, it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so a little bit more normal temperatures for winter. Humidity is at 40%, and the winds at southwest at 9 miles per hour, so not too windy out there. As for our statewide forecast, we have 34 up in Logan, 36 in Ogden, and Salt Lake City, 37. Look at all that cloud cover up in northern Utah. And over in eastern Utah, we've got 41 degrees in Vernal, 55 in Green River, 59 in Moab. Very beautiful over there. And of course, down in St. George, it's 57. Just a lot of cloud cover going on in the western part of the state. And looking at tomorrow, we have 40 degrees for a high, 25 degrees for a low, so a little bit below freezing. Sunrise 7:06 and sunset getting longer and longer, getting closer and closer to those 12-hour days. And looking at our weekly forecast here, we've got 43 on Thursday and Friday. We've got 47. A lot of wind, so when I said don't blow away earlier, I was referring to Thursday and Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, we got some snow coming on, but we never know how much we don't know how much we're gonna get at this point. But looking at Monday, 40 degrees, so maybe we're transitioning into spring finally. So if you guys have any plans this weekend, might not be the best weekend to go out of town, but the forecast might change. We don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in on our weather forecast. And Aaron, what's next in sports?
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we've got the Olympics, SUU basketball, and football. Stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Aaron Peterson. The SUU men's basketball team honored seniors James McGee, Christian Musoko, and Jamal Aites on Saturday as they hosted the Sacramento State Hornets. Brandon Better led the Thunderbirds with 20 points, while Dwayne Morgan and Jamal Aites each pitched in 13 points. Christian Musoko contributed with 10 points. The T-Birds rode those performances to a 77-74 victory. SUU now sits at 9th place in the conference with a 5-11 record, and the team will travel to Eastern Washington and Idaho this week before beginning the Big Sky Tournament in Reno on March 5th. SUU football has extended the contract of head coach Demario Warren. It was announced Monday that Warren signed a one-year contract extension with SUU. Last year, Warren signed a 5-year deal with SUU that tied him to the school through the 2021 season. Now Warren is under contract through 2022. Warren is already the 5th winningest coach in SUU history, posting a record of 15-8 in his 2 seasons as head coach. Warren is also one of the youngest coaches in all of football at only 32 years old. He has been with SUU since 2008 and was named the defensive coordinator in 2014 before taking over as head coach when Ed Lamb left for BYU. The 2018 Olympic Winter Games are in the record books. The Games saw a few milestones, including the most events and athletes at Winter Games. Norway came out on top of the medal count with 39 medals, 14 of them gold. The U.S. finished the games with 23 medals, 4th place overall. In the final days of the games, the U.S. women's hockey team took gold over Canada in a sudden death penalty shootout. The women's cross-country team and men's curling team also brought home the gold for the first time in each sport. The next Winter Games will take place in 2022 in Beijing, China. One of the best Olympic moments this year was Jessie Diggins and Keegan Randall bringing home the first ever U.S. gold in women's cross-country skiing. Abigail Larson is a former Olympic cross-country skier and SUU professor. Our reporter Guillermo Garcia sat down with her to talk about the sport.
Southern Utah University is the home of an Olympic athlete, Dr. Abigail Larson, who in 2006 went to the Winter Olympics in Turin. SUTV had the opportunity of talk to the ex-professional cross-country skiing and talk about her origins and her experience in Turin.
I didn't start skiing until I was quite a bit older. I was about 17, and then I was a walk-on for a collegiate team at Northern Michigan University, and I started rapidly progressing after that.
As Larson explained to us, the path to become an Olympian is not easy.
I thought that it might be a possibility for 2002, and then when I didn't, then I thought I kind of wasn't going to try again. But then I was encouraged to keep trying for it and racing and go to U.S. Nationals the year before, 2006, and then I skied really well.
Larson sees a bright future for the cross-country ski in the United States.
We've gotten several top 10 finishes, at least on the women's side, for this Olympics here. And then also the previous Olympics in Sochi, we had some really high finishes. In the World Cup, we've had several medals, and the women are just doing a phenomenal job now. And I think part of it is because there's been a major overhaul with the coaching on the U.S. ski team.
When we asked her how the Olympics changed her life, she had a clear answer.
But it often changes the way that people perceive me, and it opened up doors for new opportunities and things like that. So I think it's a special experience that you'll always have with you, and it's fun to talk about and share it. But I think that it was what changed me were all the years and all the races and all the training sessions leading up to making the team.
This has been Guillermo Garcia for SUTV.
That's all I've got for you today. Join us next Thursday for a full half hour of national sports on Pardon Our Take. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about IHOP's Pancake Day. Don't go away.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For 3 months, I was being treated for high blood pressure and migraines, which were actually the symptoms. The cause was kidney disease. If you were a member of one of those high-risk groups, I would have your kidney function checked. Early detection can prevent further kidney damage. It was amazing even to my doctor how much diet impacted my personal disease. The power to reduce risk for kidney disease is in your hands. I just feel that my whole life has come back to me.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
There is just under 2 months until tax day, and SUU accounting students are offering free filing for their fellow T-Birds. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Program, or VITA, is open to all members of the community who make less than $54,000 per year. The students who prepare the tax returns are IRS certified. The program gives the students experience while helping community members have a pain-free tax season. The group meets every Tuesday through Thursday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. on the second floor of the business building. For more information, the programs, and what documents you need to bring, visit suu.edu/business/FIDA.
Today is National Pancake Day at IHOP. It's an annual event where you can enjoy free pancakes. If you head to IHOP, you can get a free short stack of buttermilk pancakes. Even though the pancakes are free, diners are encouraged to donate to the Primary Children's Hospital. IHOP hopes to raise $5 million this year.
Pancakes are doing good in the Cedar City community in more than one way. Our reporter Lizzie Lee takes us to Brad's Food Hut for the story.
Brad's Food Hut is showing their love and support for Canyon View English teacher and baseball coach after a heartbreaking prognosis. On January 1st, 43-year-old Jacob Ziegler was diagnosed with a stage 4 glioblastoma brain tumor, an aggressive form of terminal cancer. Local diner Brad's Food Hut hosted a pancake breakfast on Saturday with all proceeds going to Jake, his wife, and his 10-month-old daughter. Members of the community came together, giving donations and reflecting on the impact Coach Zig has had in their lives.
Been able to learn a lot from him. He's taught me how to have fun, how to be tough, how to get through hard things. So I know this trial that he's going through, he'll get through just from what he's taught me.
Jake's family has been humbled through this trying time and expressed gratitude for the help that they have received.
I get text messages and calls almost daily of what they can do, and not even what they can do, but stuff that they're doing. I mean, we've had cookies being baked from kids in high school to the Home and Garden show is doing a benefit breakfast for them, and it's amazing to see all the love from the community.
The breakfast drew many community members to Brad's, including Canyon View students. $12,000 was raised from donations and raffle tickets.
The turnout's been great. So far, so good. It's just heating up. And we expect a full house till 10 o'clock.
Coach Ziegler's family is grateful for all of the help that they have received in this time of need. If you're interested in contributing to the cause, visit Jacob Ziegler's GoFundMe account. For SUTV News, I'm Lizzie Lee. The Cedar Saturday Market is more than a seasonal fruit and vegetable stand. Jenna Chapman took a look inside the gathering at IFA.
From fresh cuts of meat to warm tamales and handmade dolls to polished geodes, the Cedar Saturday Market has something for everyone.
It brings a nice mix. People can come and buy, whether it's food or whether it's a gift or something that's handcrafted, so that's been a nice mix.
The market is a partnership with IFA. Last Saturday, the market offered free beef and lamb kebabs made with D9 meats, which were cooked on an IFA pellet grill.
It brings in a clientele that we probably normally wouldn't get, and the atmosphere is fun and the people are enjoyable. It just makes for a fun morning.
Each month, the market offers a kids activity and a bingo day. Last Saturday, D9 Meats celebrated their 10th anniversary with cake, and children made Valentine's Day cards. And there are more ways they try to give back to the community.
We also do a couple times a year fundraising things for the Care and Share in the Women's Crisis Center, because we care about our community just as much as our community cares about us.
The Cedar Saturday Market meets every Saturday inside or outside of IFA from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For SUTV News, I'm Jenna Chapman.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm super hungry for pancakes right now.
Yeah, they look
Me
really
too.
good.
I know, I was watching those IHOP pancakes and I was like, oh, I'm kind of hungry.
Really go for some of those.
Yeah, and they're free, so.
Why not?
So
I mean, that makes it more delicious, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not always a big pancake fan, but I will take some free pancakes.
Yeah, I'm usually more of a waffles person. But
I don't judge, I like both. Just kidding.
I don't know, yeah, I always go for the waffles, but if they're free, might as well.
Right, I agree, and for a good cause. So,
yeah, so I guess we're headed to IHOP after this.
Yes,
yeah.
we are.
All of us at the same time.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lizzie Lee.
I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Damon Day.
And I'm Amy Andre. Make sure to tune in on Thursday for our delicious version of The Other Show.